What's up, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in, and today is the day a lot of us have been waiting for. A Nintendo Direct has finally been announced. It's coming really, really soon. Cannot wait. It's been announced. I'm ready to go. I cannot wait to react to this in front of you guys. Of course, I'm going to do a delayed reaction, but it's still a reaction nonetheless. Big Nintendo news is coming. And as a big Nintendo guy, I'm super excited. Gotta find out what's going to be happening for the end of this year and also for next year as well. We don't know a lot of the plans. All we know so far is Bayonetta 3 and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but that's Pokemon, that's their own thing. And Mario Rabbids, but that's a first-party game developed by a third-party company. So, and of course, that's all we much know so far, but a Nintendo Direct has finally been announced, and I cannot wait to see what's going to be announced in this Direct. Let's go. But before we get to the Direct, I want to make some predictions. I want to make some predictions on what I think we'll see in this upcoming Direct. Basically based on information that I've seen the last couple of weeks, and also pure speculation. So, let's go ahead and get into the predictions. But before we do that, here's where you guys can find this video and all of my others on my platforms. So on Twitter at WillYork_23, Twitch Tuxedo28, and YouTube Will York. You guys can also hit me up on Discord. That text logo on the top right side of your screen will guide you on your way to Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Discord. You guys can also hit me up on Facebook through 4Stay Gamers, and you can add me as a friend on Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, and Epic Games Store. So let's go ahead and get right into the predictions. If you watched my previous video from about a month ago, talking about way too early direction predictions, then these are pretty much going to be the same. There's only one new addition this time. But I think these are all going to be mostly coming true. So without much further ado, a final look at my Nintendo Direct predictions before the upcoming Nintendo Direct. So, going to look ahead. So, gotta start on the top right or top left as usual. So we got Miyamoto, of course, one of the main men behind Nintendo. I imagine he's going to make an appearance and mostly do his, hello, this was the first look at this and that. We'll have more info in the near future. Thank you for tuning in to today's Nintendo Direct. So, I think he's going to make I think he'll make an appearance in this Direct, like usually. The next one, this one's based off insider knowledge from what we've seen in news articles the last couple weeks, and that is Wind Waker and Twilight Princess are supposedly getting HD ports to Nintendo Switch. This is big, major news for especially Zelda fans. A lot of big news. This was rumored for years that they were being remastered, they were redone, and they were coming to the Switch. Now they're saying, it's going to come. They'll say they'll come if Breath of the Wild 2 gets delayed. Because, before the announcement that it was getting delayed this year, Breath of the Wild 2 was supposed to come out in 2022. But because it's been delayed to 2023, now they're saying that these games are done and they're ready to release. And Nintendo has also said they want one new Zelda game every year of the Switch's release. They've had 2017 with Breath of the Wild, 2018 Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, 2019 Link's Awakening Remake, 2020 Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, and last year was Skyward Sword HD. And now we could be getting Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD ports coming to Nintendo Switch. This is big. These are the HD ports that made its way to the Wii U. And these are also a couple of the Wii U games that are not on Nintendo Switch. There's still a lot of Wii U titles that are not on Nintendo Switch. But like I said, these are also two core mainline Zelda games, mostly made on the GameCube, but HD remastered for the Wii U. If this comes into fruition, the Switch will be the first console to ever house every single Zelda mainline game. Every single one. From the very first one to Breath of the Wild, every mainline Zelda game could be on Nintendo Switch if this comes into fruition. You're probably thinking, what about Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time? Well, if you're part of Nintendo Switch Online, then those are the two other core Zelda titles. So I think we are going to see Wind Waker Twilight Princess HD ports being announced for Switch. Especially you've had insiders like Nate the Hate and Jeff Grubb are saying that that Nintendo's got these games done. They're ready to go, and we could be seeing the direct announcement in the week of September 12th. Well, we're finally in that week, and we got the announcement, so let's go. And then we got let's see, middle one. I think this one's going to be given. It's Game Boy Family for Nintendo Switch Online. Earlier this year, it was rumored that they discovered the Game Boy emulator on Nintendo Switch Online through Sloop. It was like a machine. It's a program. I'm not sure what it is, but it's also developed by the Nintendo European Research Development, or NERD. Anyway, they found some Game Boy games on there, and they also had some new trademarks for some games, including The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap, which is a really, really popular Zelda game. One of the popular Zelda games. Not super popular. It is a popular one. And two, one of the most expensive Game Boy Advance games in the market. Putting this on the Switch will make it a lot easier, make it a lot better for people to actually play this for the very first time. But not only for the Game Boy Advance, Minish Cap, you also got other ones like Golden Sun, trying to think of the other ones, Mario Kart Super Circuit, just to name a couple. But why not the Pokemon games? Why not Kirby's Dream Land or Donkey Kong Land? I mean, the Pokemon games coming to Switch Online would be a really big push for people to subscribe. Again, the main reason, the majority of the Game Boy games are on the 3DS systems. And, as of the time being, you cannot buy them at all unless your 3DS account is connected to your Switch account. And the eShops are closing in March. Period. You cannot add any more money. Can't do gift cards, can't do credit cards. Can't do those unless you have your Switch account connected to the 3DS. But the Pokemon games, when the news with the announcement of the news, the 3DS Wii U shops were closing, some of the number one games on the eShop were in fact the Pokemon games. And bringing those to Switch Online it'll make it a lot better. It'll just make it so much better, so much smoother, a more seamless transition, especially people wanting to expand the Pokédex and build up their Pokédex in Pokemon Home, which is something I've been working on recently myself, trying to build up the Pokédex myself. So, a lot of numerous reasons why Game Boy will be announced coming to Switch Online in this Direct. Next up, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 DLC and a release period. It was announced that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 will be getting DLC. It will be getting DLC. So I imagine with a mainline Direct like this, we could be seeing information about the DLC and when it could come out. Next game that should be getting announced for content update will be the Mario Strikers Battle League. I think it's going to get a next content update for this Direct. I honestly do think it's going to get that. I mean, it's about due time for one. I think they got one not too long after the game's release. Not too long afterwards. I think July. But I could be wrong. One of the other ones that I forgot to put on here, but I think it will be announced, will be the next Wave Pass for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. So I think we'll probably get information about the next wave, despite the fact that we just got the second wave. Even though we just got the second wave, they need to be kept on a good schedule if they really want to release all those DLC or those courses by the end of 2023. So hopefully we will find out more information about that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. Hopefully we'll find out about Wave 3 and have it released possibly in the holiday. Next row, second row, Breath of the Wild 2 details, gameplay, and release. I think we're going to see it. The insiders have said, excuse me, the insiders have said that this will be a Zelda blowout, and that this game will actually make a presence in here, and the name will be revealed. So, I imagine we'll be seeing a lot of information about it. There's also been some images floating online about patent pending for this game, some mechanics in the game. So, yeah, we'll see. I think we're gonna see some lot of Zelda stuff in this one. Hopefully, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess. I believe those are coming true, and I believe this rumor that Breath of the Wild 2 is going to come be announced in this direct. GameCube for Nintendo Switch Online. Other recent articles have mentioned about GameCube games getting remastered. Of course, they talked about Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, but I think they'll just port the HD versions over to Switch, unless they the remastered ones are from GameCube. You wouldn't have to change a lot of mechanics. But they also talked about other games like Pikmin 1 and 2, as well as F-Zero GX. I mentioned a lot of those in the recent articles and rumors. So that kind of leads to more speculation that the GameCube could also be announced for Switch Online. It makes a lot of sense to announce 2 consoles for Nintendo Switch Online. Last year, they did that with the expansion pack, with Nintendo 64 and the Sega Genesis. They added 2 new consoles to Nintendo Switch Online. I think it's possible we could see that again this year. Only with Game Boy, excuse me, the Game Boy family of systems and the GameCube. So, actually, that's a big one right there. You got 4 consoles on there. Well, actually 3, because, excuse me, the Game Boy Color is just, it's not it is a separate console, but you can still play a lot of the Game Boy games in living color. So, just developed in color. I mean, I'll technically count it as 4. The Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Advance, and the GameCube. I think those are going to be really big, so I think both of those could be coming to the Nintendo Switch Online system this year. Hopefully for no major price increase, because it's already expensive enough with the price for Switch Online expansion pack. $80 for a family membership, $50 for a single, and I have the family membership because I share my Switch Online account with family and friends. So, yeah. So either that, so we can either get GameCube for Switch Online, or a collection of GameCube. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Let me get a quick drink before I get on. Okay. Either we can get GameCube or Nintendo Switch Online, or we could get the collection of GameCube remastered games, like a collection or just a single release of GameCube release. One of the insiders, Emily Rogers, has also said that that's one of the Nintendo's plans right now is to remaster GameCube games, which really interesting. For one, the GameCube has turned 20 years old, so it's going to start being considered retro. And 2, there's not a lot of systems today that would play GameCube games. I know the Wii would. The Nintendo Wii will play. They will play the GameCube games. I don't know about the Wii U. I don't think it plays the Wii. The Wii U plays GameCube games. But seeing Nintendo actually taking an interest in remastering classic games for the modern times, it just sparked fan base and fan love for their certain games. So remastering these games to bring attention to the the fans, the people who want them the most, the people who are excited about them the most, and again, an incentive for people to go and buy their products. So, you enjoy it back then? Well, you can enjoy it once again. And then, the next thing after that, Road to Element 4. The next set of games announced for Nintendo Switch Online, it could be NES, SNES, N64, Sega Genesis. Earlier this year in the February Direct, they announced that Earthbound games were coming to Switch Online through the NES system. They shadow dropped that day, and then we also they've been slowly dripping the Nintendo 64 ones, but we haven't heard what's coming up next. What other next games are confirmed to be coming to Nintendo 64 Online. That, and it's been almost a year since they announced the expansion pack. So there's still a lot of games that are not on 64 Online, such as the original Super Smash Bros., Donkey Kong 64, Banjo-Tooie. Well, we got one, and now it makes sense to put Banjo-Tooie on there as well. I'm trying to think of the other ones. Pokemon Stadium. They put a couple of Pokemon 64 games on there. Why not Pokemon Stadium? And the first 3 Mario Party games. But it probably makes a lot of good sense why. Because in one of the levels in Mario Party, where you had a couple levels where you got to use the Joy-Con. Yeah. And basically, a lot of people did this, and yes, even I did that too. Even I did this too. Yeah, and it just ruins your controller. So I imagine that's the main reason why Nintendo has not put the Mario Party games on the Switch Online. I don't think they want people to tear up the Switch controllers. I don't think so. But those things are built to last. They are built to last. And then finally, in the second row, Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope, a final preview. The game comes out in over a month. A lot of people are excited about it. I'm not too big into it, but there is supposed to be... there was the Ubisoft forward that happened a while back over the weekend. That happened, and a lot of more information was revealed. A lot of new information revealed about it, so I imagine a lot of people are excited about this one. And again, this one comes out on October 20th. Third row, Element 1. Mini trailer game shown. Obvious. It could be stuff either brand new coming to the Switch or ported to the Switch. Also, it's just a mini trailer of stuff. And then a Nintendo Switch finger snap. Yeah, I think that's going to be a given. Free spot. Obviously, every bingo board needs a free spot. The next one's another big one, and this also goes with what the insiders have said. But Metroid Prime getting a remaster announcement and possibly release. The insiders have said that Metroid Prime's most likely going to be in this direct, and that it would release before this year's 20th anniversary, before the game turns 20, which they're saying it's going to be in November. Which, again, that's big for Metroid fans. Big for that. It was also the first Metroid game to go through a first-person shooter. So, very interesting on that. Also, last year we got a brand new 2D Metroid game for the first time in about 19 years with Metroid Dread. So, I imagine, and what that did, that really sparked a lot of people's interest back into the Metroid series. So, I feel like with Nintendo bringing back classic IPs, and the people notice these IPs and learn about them and get excited about them, Nintendo's going to keep rolling it out. That's just how that's how you make the money. If you bring something back, people are definitely going to go for it. They're definitely going to go for it. And Metroid Prime, a very successful series on GameCube and Wii, with especially with the Metroid Prime trilogy, the 3 games in the system. Some of the insiders are also saying that we'll get Metroid Prime 1 here, but that 2 and 3 are also going to come along the way, but at a later date. We'll see about that. Next one. This one, I hope it's in the Direct, but for other personal reasons, I don't think so. That's the Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. Of course, it's the remakes of the Game Boy Advance games. The reason it was supposed to come out earlier this year, but Nintendo pushed it out, saying they weren't going to release it at the time, because during the time, There's been a war going on in Ukraine, and it has shattered the world. It has shattered world events. And honestly, it's a game involving military strategies and tanks. Yeah, and especially when there's two countries going at war with each other, and you got a game about going at war with tanks. Now's not the best time to release it, but I believe it's slowed down. I believe it's slowed down a little bit. It's not done. It's not over, but I think it's slowed down a little bit where they probably could think about releasing it. But I honestly think they're gonna pull. I think they're gonna keep holding on to this until at least, hopefully, either when the war stops or the war dies down. But I think it might be next year before this game actually comes out. Fourth row, new 3D Donkey Kong game. Of course, there were rumors that there's a new 3D Donkey Kong game, like Donkey Kong 64, in the works by the same people that did Super Mario Odyssey. I would love a brand new Donkey Kong game. I haven't played a lot of it. I did enjoy Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on Switch. I've enjoyed those, but those are 2D Donkey Kong games. It would be really cool to have a 3D Donkey Kong game where, you know, free roam. And also, bring back King K. Rool. He is, honestly, DK's iconic villain. And he's also one of my favorites in Smash Bros. Too. But he's just one of the greatest video game villains that Nintendo's got. I'd say next to, Bowser would be one. Ganondorf, let's see. Ganondorf's actually a bigger villain than Bowser is. So Ganondorf would be 1. Bowser 2. Ridley would be 3. But in some circumstances, Ridley might be a 2. In some circumstances. This could be a good discussion for another video. Best Nintendo villains of all time. Or best video game villains of all time. So that'd be a cool discussion for a future video. But anyway, I would love to see a Donkey Kong game with King K. Rool and the Kremlings, all of that returning. I would love to see that. Next, we don't see a lot of Amiibo news unless it's attached to a new game that's being announced. But this one makes sense. We got Sephiroth and Pyra Mythra Amiibos. Of course, we just got the Steve Amiibo. Steve and Alex Amiibos. They were just released over the weekend. So we don't know any more about the future Amiibos up for grabs. We do know that they are going to be Amiibos. It was confirmed by Sakurai over a year ago during the Sora reveal that we'll have Sephiroth, Pyra Mythra, Kazuya, and well, they never officially announced the Sora one, but I think a Sora Amiibo is going to be in the works. I think it's going to be in the works. So yeah, we could be seeing that in the Nintendo Direct, but I imagine the Sephiroth, Pyra Mythra Amiibos, I think they're going to get released next year. The fact that we just got Steve and Alex, and they were supposed to release in April along with the Min Min Amiibo, but they got delayed because of technical issues. More like, you know, supply chain issues. So they got hit with the supply chain stuff too. Nintendo, just like every other major gaming company, is hit with supply chains as well. So I think the Direct could be a good place for it. I'd like to see it, but I don't think it's going to be announced. Next, Biomutant Switch port. This game's very interesting. It is developed by THQ Nordic, which has been a really good partner for Nintendo lately, putting a lot of their games on Switch and making new games for Switch as well. This was released last year. Did not get good reviews, but apparently this game has been rated in... trying to think. Usually, I think if you see a game that gets announced for a rating in Taiwan, then it's more likely than not that the game will be revealed to be coming to Switch. So I imagine we are going to see this in the Nintendo Direct. And like I said, it's from THQ Nordic, which has been a really good partner for Nintendo lately. The one last announcement, that's a given. This one's another recent, the last one on Road 4. This one's very interesting. Of course, some insiders are saying the popular couch co-op game It Takes Two is coming to Nintendo Switch, which I think is very interesting. One, it was one of last year's popular games. Two, it won Game of the Year at the Game Awards. But three, it's also developed by EA, which is a company I'm starting to despise a little bit, because they are also developers behind the Madden games, and I really want to see Madden on the Switch. They haven't done that in quite a long time. I would love a true football game on the go. But that's me. That's just me. I would love that. They are also bringing back the college football games, but I kind of fear like they're not going to develop this one for Switch. So, anyway, but EA has said they are wanting to try to make amends for not developing a lot of games for Switch. So they did so last year. They put a lot of their games on Switch, like Apex Legends, Plants vs. Zombies. They put those games on the Nintendo Switch. So it's, I mean, yeah, it's a good start, but until you guys put Madden on the Switch, I'm not going for it. Unless it's, well, this game. This game does look fun. From what I've seen, it does look pretty fun. So, again, this was also one of the other games that's also got a recent rating for it. No, this is the one that insiders are also saying this is coming. This one ain't a ratings one. This one is insider saying It Takes Two is coming to Switch. And finally, the last row. So, got a new game demonstration. I imagine with the new game announcement, you'll probably have a new game demonstration like they did with the Wii Sports back in the February Direct. They demonstrated that. So I think we could see that as well. A third-party Nintendo Switch exclusive game, we could see that, maybe. We already had one in Monster Hunter Rise, and now it's actually on PC. It was a Switch exclusive for a long time, but now it's on PC. So I could imagine we might get another Switch exclusive, probably a timed exclusive. I think lost my train of thought. There was rumors about a new Resident Evil exclusive coming to Switch. There was rumors on that, but interesting to see. It could be we might get a third-party exclusive for Nintendo Switch. We might see that. I mean, this was also I believe over 2 years ago is when we got the information for Monster Hunter Rise that was announced to be coming exclusively to Nintendo Switch. We got that in I think a partner direct or a partner showcase, something like that. That was over 2 years ago. And then the one big change I've had to this graphic is I've wrote in about Multiverses getting ported to Nintendo Switch. So if you don't know what Multiverses is, think of it as Smash Brothers, but with Warner Brother IP. So you got characters like Bugs Bunny, Batman, Scooby-Doo, Tom and Jerry, just a bunch of Warner Brothers characters and IPs clashing together in a brawl, just like Smash Bros, just like Super Smash Bros. But the thing about it is, a lot of interesting things. One, it's free, very much it's free. Two, it's crossplay, but three, it was not announced for Switch. You're probably thinking, why would you make a Smash Bros like game and not have it on Nintendo? Why not? So the game released on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and PC, but not Switch. So you're probably thinking, why? Why are you not putting it on the Switch if you're not developing for it? But there's also recent rumblings that Multiverses is currently in works and being ported to the Switch, as well as PC it's already on PC and mobile. So Switch and mobile. So there's rumors about that as well. Honestly, I think it's a right call to port this, especially it has been a popular game for a while. It has been a popular game, and putting it on the Switch just even adds your audience, just like they did with Fall Guys. You added a bigger fan base to those when you port the games on other systems. Sorry about that. And then almost near the end, Bayonetta 3 final preview. I think we're going to see more information about Bayonetta 3. There's been some information revealed about it lately. This game comes out on October 28th, 3 days before Halloween. 3 days. And this is a Switch exclusive, of course. Bayonetta is a second party for Nintendo. It's from Platinum Games, but it's also the same company that has done Astral Chain. So putting Bayonetta 3 on the Switch, yeah, I mean that was announced back in 2017, and then last year they finally revealed Bayonetta 3. They finally revealed that, and it is now slated to come out next month. And then finally, the last thing that I think could be announced for this one, and this could tie in with that one last announcement. We could be getting a new Star Fox, F-Zero, or Earthbound game. We've been seeing a lot of classic franchises come back with new games. We got a new Kirby earlier this year with Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Metroid came back last year with the new Metroid, with Metroid Dread. Trying to think of the other ones, some of the comebacks. Fire Emblem back in 2019 made a comeback with Three Houses, and this year with Three Hopes. So I imagine we'll probably get a brand new game from an IP that has not had a new game in quite a while. Star Fox makes sense. There has not been a new Star Fox in quite a while. F-Zero, much needed. Earthbound, definitely much needed. There's also lots of people calling for Nintendo to release a English version of Mother 3, which, I mean, from what I've heard, it's a little tricky, a lot of mechanics, a little specifications behind it, but I mean, I've never played Earthbound, but I might be willing to give it a try sometime. So I think in this direct, I mean, and especially when a direct like this always has out of left field picks. These three IPs, I think one of those has a chance of making a comeback. If I had to pick one, I would probably have to pick Star Fox, because that still has a very good fan base to the day. But I'm not going to rule out F-Zero. Not ruling that. That's just probably the one that really needs to come back the most. So I don't think there's been a new game since F-Zero GX. So I imagine I imagine either Star Fox or F-Zero is the one getting the big announcement for a brand new game. Now I can breathe. And just like that, that's my predictions that I got for the Nintendo Direct coming up this week. So, anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Like I said, I'm super excited about this Nintendo Direct, and of course, I would love to stream it for you guys, but I'm actually going to do something different for once. I'm actually going to delay react to the Nintendo Direct. I'm actually going to delay react to it, but hopefully, once I get the Direct, once it's fully up and downloaded, I will react for you guys when that finally comes around. So that's gonna do it for me for this video. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. If you guys wish to check out this video and all of my others, feel free to do so. Hit me up on any of the platforms, on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Discord. That text logo on the right side of your screen will guide you on your way to those platforms. You guys can also hit me up on Facebook, Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, and the Epic Games Store. So, Nintendo Direct finally happening. I cannot wait to get going on this. I hope we get to see what the insiders have said that we could be seeing. Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, Breath of the Wild 2, Metroid Prime, and whole bunch more. Again, I think we're going to get a big blowout out of this Nintendo Direct. I really do think so. So, until I see you guys for the Direct delayed reaction, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I hope you guys have a great, wonderful day. I'll catch you on the flip side. Have a good one, guys.